Hey there guys, today I'm going to be talking about video game pedigree. Now if you know anything about me, you probably think, oh wow Dolapo, this is probably just an excuse for you to crap all over Platinum games. You're not wrong. Hey there perfectionists, my name is Dolapo, but you already knew that because you're so darn perfect. So, video game pedigree. Video game pedigree is the idea or concept that a video game company has a certain amount of quality that they're renowned for and they must stick to it. And that's fine, that's good, right? Like it's just like having a portfolio. We know that video game companies that are more well known for their pedigree or their portfolio are less likely to feel pressure that they're going to produce a bad game or anything less than stellar. And with companies that have a notoriety for producing bad games, well, it's quite the opposite. So this brings us to Days Gone. Now we all know that Sony has had quite the track record as of late for producing absolutely amazing first-party content. And this is, in their single-player video games. We've seen this in God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn, which I still don't understand. That doesn't make any sense. The game was really, really boring, but that's neither here nor there. See, personally for me, everything that I saw of Days Gone going into its release and, it's showing at E3 the year prior, led me to believe that this game wasn't going to be that great. Everything about its marketing also led me to believe that because, to be honest, whenever I saw any content or in trailers for any other first-party games from Sony, it was always very cinematic. It was always supposed to focus on the story, but this always focused on the zombies. And to be honest, I find the entire genre of zombie games to be completely and utterly contrived. I mean, Microsoft not too long ago just gave us another open world zombie game. So can we not do this anymore? Can we be done? Please? So the conversation has been less about Days Gone's content and gameplay and more about the review scores that it has. And to be frank, I don't think Sony cares about this. I think that they knew this game wasn't going to be top tier, and they put it out anyways, and you could honestly see all the signs leading up to it. This game was not marketed anywhere near the way its other first-party games were marketed. Like, not at all. And I think a lot of the reason has to do with the fact that it was such a safe choice. Sony themselves pride themselves on their cinematic experiences, and the fact that they never really put any of the game's story into the forefront of their advertising, at least from what I saw, I can kind of tell you way more than I can ever tell you. At the end of the day, I think nobody's going to really remember Days Gone. Now, I know that sounds really, really harsh to say because I know tons of people worked on this game really, really hard, and you know what? I don't feel bad about saying that. So the next question is, are you allowed to have middling product in your portfolio? Should you aim for the middle? Well, let's actually take a step back and think about film. See, I'm actually too young to remember this, but there was a time in which films were everywhere. There was a ton more films than there currently are being produced, right now. And the main reason why is because there was no such thing as the blockbuster. Once the blockbuster came around, then it became less about producing more movies to create money and more focus on quality, big budget projects in order to generate interest and bring in profit. So higher risk, higher reward. So with less movies made per year, you had more of a chance of staking your entire livelihood on one product. And we see a lot of that now. Hell, a single failure in the video game space could mark the end of your entire company. So going back to the point I made before, I don't think that Sony put a lot of stake in Days Gone because they knew what it was, they knew what they wanted it to be, and therefore it was. So we have proven that Sony is mortal. They are capable of producing things that are less than awe-inspiring. I've known this, but maybe you didn't, I don't know. What about other companies that people believe can do no wrong? One of the most notorious companies in gaming, for me at least, is Platinum Games. I despise what Platinum Games does. They put a heavy emphasis on gameplay over story, and you know what? It wouldn't be such a big deal if the gameplay wasn't so redundant. I don't think people realize that they're effectively reskinning the same game over and over and over again. It seems like people forget all the crap that Platinum puts out and focus on the okay. I mean, for every Bayonetta that's out there, you have 3 Legend of Korras. For every freaking Transformers, you have 14 Star Fox Zeros. It's just, I don't understand. And Astral Chains looks really good. I love the idea of Astral Chain, but my goodness. Can we temper our expectations, people? Look, it looks really good, and I'm sure it'll play really well, but if I see one more game from them with a dodge mechanic that slows down time, I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm gonna lose my mind, because what is that? Nobody's seeing this? I feel like I'm going crazy. I feel like I'm losing my mind. I don't know what to do. Nintendo's another one that I think gets a lot more flack than people actually realize. Personally, for me, I don't understand. I've never understood the Nintendo apologist mentality. I know they do a lot of horrible things when it comes to producing content. I actually only like 3 or 4 of their franchises, so I'm no one to talk on this, but my goodness, it just needs to stop. I have this theory that they have so many franchises that people only really remember or pay attention to the ones they enjoy. I mean, there are a lot of Pokemon fans I know out there who are not Nintendo fans. Isn't that weird? And in building so many of these franchises, I think that's actually, helped their reputation. And I think this is something that Microsoft itself is trying to do. They're trying to build a base of IPs so that, hey, people have something they can enjoy and latch onto. And people like to argue about the quality of Microsoft's first-party content, and yeah, I'd probably side with them on that. Outside of the big 3, I mean, quality-wise, I don't know. But I think it has a lot to do with investment. Sometimes you get what you put into things, and you would never expect to see the same amount of advertising presence on something like Sea of Thieves as you would Gears of War. The reason why is because they know Gears of War will sell. It's safe. But if they continue to put less of an emphasis on that high risk, high reward mentality, then they'll never see the same success that Sony and Nintendo do. Either way, this has been a very interesting little case study. Hopefully we see something awesome with Ghost from Sony later on, but I haven't seen anything on that in recent times, so I'm not really sure about that, but maybe we'll see more at E3. Stay perfect.